Trump is a nasty man. There, I said it. So let's jump into this. I keep hearing the fact that Trump is a nasty man. And that is a fact. He has a history of nasty behavior. What I hear less of is Biden is a nasty man, though he too has a history of nasty behavior. And now that I think about it, most men are nasty or have nasty behaviors in their history, including myself. I'm not excluded. Kamala is a nasty woman. Have you researched her history? Further down that rabbit hole, there are a lot of women that have a history of nasty behavior in their history. Why? Because we all have sinned and continue to battle sin. It's that simple. Matthew 19:17 says, "There is none good but God." It is our nature to be nasty. We will continue to sin as long as we are in this body of sin. So what happens when a sinner runs for public office? Well, their sin comes to the light. The opposition digs it up and they broadcast it. When they don't find any, they simply make it up until they do. But generally speaking, if you have money and power, they don't have to make it up. You got some nasty somewhere. So now that we got that out the way, let's talk hypocrisy and irony. Don't you find it ironic that the people saying how nasty Donald Trump is are the same people more than willing to vote to make all kinds of nasty sin lawful and legal? When I ask people why they aren't voting for Trump, a popular reason is he's a nasty racist man. Okay, so you are willing to vote for the two most anti-Black candidates in recent memory. They are named Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Because you tell me you now care about nasty. You have voted in all kinds of good people to make all kinds of nasty legal as long as they promise to give you something for the culture. So left voting for years has sacrificed certain religious moralities to take the crumbs being offered by the liberal platform for the minority struggle. But this election, your two left side candidates, because Joe is really Kamala and Kamala is really Joe, have a history, a record of anti-Blackness. Kamala locked them up. She actually targeted Black men on purpose, made it literally her life work. Biden, meanwhile, worked his whole public career to segregate, call Blacks part of the jungle. He fathered legislation and passed it to lock up thousands and thousands of Black men, such as myself, for maximum time for minimum crimes. So you now have this dichotomy. You can, on one side, you is Trump, who you hate his words, maybe even his personal morality, his nasty, his sin. But his public service deeds for Blacks, whites, and browns, and religious freedoms, and et cetera, goes on and on. Hammer said, you can't touch this. And then across the ring, you've got Joe and Kamala, who you love their words, but you can't find a single deed, public service deed for Blackness in 50 plus years of public service. Positive, that is. To the contrary, you find all anti-Black policies from both. Then to top it off, these two actively support, condone, and preach all kinds of perverse, nasty behavior, and more importantly, their deep desire to make it law and legal. So we can throw the Black card away. The Black cards can't be used in this election because Joe and Kamala, words show they are pro-Black, but their actions show they are anti-Black. I don't care what they say, you will know them by their fruit. Matthew 7:16 said that, by their fruit you will know them. And these two trees have been producing anti-Black fruit for literally decades. Trump, you claim, has so many anti-Black words, but he sure does have a lot of pro-Black actions from my research. So can we call this a wash? Black card dismissed. So let's get to the real issue that they want to remain hidden so you don't pay attention to. See, they want to make Joe and Kamala good and Trump nasty. This is about nasty, or is it? But not nasty people. Why? Because Romans 3:24 says we are all nasty. So Joe, Kamala, and Trump are all nasty. There is only one good, and that is God. But the left is trying to remove that God. Joe and Kamala are not only trying to remove God, they are trying to make what was and is nasty and sin good and legal. So this isn't about Trump or Joe or Nancy or Chuck. This is about the Supreme Court. This is about law. So I guess it is about Trump and Biden, but not them personally. Their personal sin is between them and their maker, is it not? Now, where we can get up and be opinionated and weigh in on is who do we want interpreting sin law? You see, the Bible is about the law of God, the definition and interpretation of what sin is. It answers the question for us, what is nasty? What is sin? This nation's laws were arguably based on that Bible. That's why we swear on it in every courtroom. We mention God. The left is about making nasty legal while highlighting the nasty people on the right that actually want to keep nasty illegal. So they say, don't vote for nasty people, vote for us good people so we can remove the Bible and make nasty the law. Let me define liberal for you. The definition is open to new behavior and opinions and willing to discard traditional values. This is the polar opposite of conservative, the definition being holding to traditional attitudes and values and cautious about change or innovation, typically in relation to politics or religion. So a liberal law interpretation would discard traditional values, especially where it comes to religion, and a conservative law interpretation keeps traditional values, especially where it comes to religion. So it's not about Joe or Kamala or Trump. It is a question about who are you? You hate perverse people, but are talking to legalize the perverse. Whether you think the person in the White House is perverse or good, hashtag POTUS only lasts 4 to 8 years. Hashtag SCOTUS is for life. That is the bigger choice. Comment, subscribe. Get woke, people. Stay blessed.